In 2017, after getting married, my husband and I moved in with my in-laws. Part of the reason was that his family lived in the countryside while we lived in Saigon. We wanted to have our own place, but our finances were tight, and we also wanted to save money to have a child. So we decided not to move out. Our house was really small, with 3 generations living together. Since we were newlyweds, our family was considerate enough to let us stay in the attic for some privacy. However, due to the noise, my husband and I felt uncomfortable, and as a result, we hadn't been able to conceive a child. Later on, we decided to monitor my ovulation cycle and take advantage of the opportunity to stay at a hotel for intimate moments. We usually went to a nearby hotel that we were familiar with, but on that evening, the hotel was undergoing renovations. So we went to another hotel nearby, located on Huangsa Street, near Nye Loc Canal. When we entered the hotel, the receptionist told us that all the rooms were occupied. As my husband was about to leave, a lady with a strong voice called out, "There's still a room." She came running towards us and handed us the room key, asking us to leave the bike for the staff to take care of. She even turned back and scolded the young staff member. "If you're clueless like these idiots, I'll make you regret it." My husband didn't pay much attention to it, so we went up to the room. He took a shower first since he had just returned from work. I lay on the bed, browsing on my phone, waiting for my turn. Suddenly, there was a fleeting foul smell in the room, as if something dead was present. It was just a brief moment, but it made me sit up and lean down to check under the bed to see if there was a dead mouse. Instead, I found used condoms scattered underneath. I sat up and knocked on the bathroom door, calling my husband angrily. "Honey, this hotel is disgusting. Did they not clean the room? There are used condoms all over under the bed." My husband didn't reply, but I could hear him humming in the shower. He even played trance music while bathing, which was unusual because he usually took quick showers. And I had never seen him listen to trance music before. But I patiently waited, thinking it's okay, he just wants to change things up a bit. I lay on the bed, not knowing when I fell asleep, and suddenly I dreamed of purple feet sticking out of the window. There were flies crawling on those feet, and a horrible rotten smell filled the air. The stench was so intense that it startled me. I jolted and sat up when I saw my husband standing at the foot of the bed, staring at me intently. At that moment, I regained my composure and glanced at the clock, muttering, "Why did you take so long to shower? You usually hurry." My husband didn't say anything, just looked at me with a smile and handed me a towel to take a shower. I went into the bathroom, taking the opportunity because I was always afraid that the second round would require extra payment. When I came out of the bathroom, I was startled. My husband was standing in a very strange posture, pressing me against the window frame. His head was tilted to one side, and his arms and legs were twisted and clinging to the iron frame. It looked so bizarre that I burst out laughing. "What new pose is this? Are you going crazy today?" My husband didn't say anything, just smirked and then pounced on me like a hungry tiger. He was completely different, not paying attention to my feelings and eagerly laughing with a terrifying expression. I was scared, so I raised my hand and slapped his face several times, shouting, "Is my husband going insane? Why are you acting so strangely today?" My husband muttered, "What's your name? Where do you live?" By this point, I was a little frightened, but I didn't want to spoil his mood, so I still played along and said jokingly, "I'm Tao, and I live on Tran Van Dang Street." As soon as I finished speaking, my husband raised his head to the sky and burst into a loud laughter, asking, "Will you marry me? Will you agree?" I was puzzled. "Are you crazy today?" Upon hearing my response, my husband grabbed my neck and screamed, "Be my wife." I was in pain and couldn't breathe, so I kicked my husband away with my foot. He fell back onto the bed. I was terrified and rushed to grab a bunch of clothes and ran out screaming without even getting dressed. Both my husband and I were still naked. When I heard the noise, 2 hotel staff members rushed up, but they hesitated to come closer when they saw me standing at the door, looking into the room without any clothes. I realized the situation and quickly put on my clothes, then angrily ordered the 2 staff members to help me get my husband out of the room. Only then did my husband start to regain consciousness. The 2 of us hurriedly went down the stairs, getting dressed while I recounted the story. When we reached the front desk, I asked the receptionist about the girl at the reception, but she said she had just started working 3 months ago and didn't know anything. However, she had heard from the water vendor that a few months ago, a man rented the room and hanged himself right on the door frame. It took more than 2 days to discover the body. She couldn't remember the exact details, but she muttered something and left towards the motorcycle helmet parking area.